There are things that we experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in a corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us, share your story, share your evidence, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is Minnesota Ghost Box.
Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight? Welcome. My name is Greg Bakken, and I am the founder and lead investigator of Minnesota Ghost Box, which is a paranormal team in Minnesota, but we service, honestly, anywhere that has a paranormal case that needs our help. We've been all around the country, and I've done some of the stuff around the world also. So, we're just here to help wherever possible. And what I like to do is I like to have live spirit box sessions every other week, basically. And so we're broadcasting tonight from my own personal Facebook page, my Minnesota Ghost Box Facebook page, as well as my Minnesota Ghost Box YouTube page, and also Parafriends Events, which is a group that we can't really do any paranormal investigations, public paranormal investigations at the moment, because we are all unable to leave our houses, basically. So, it's kind of like this is a nice way for us to get together and a nice way for us to see if we can, get any sort of communication from spirit using the spirit box and other devices. And I always look at these as kind of experiments every week, because we don't know what we're going to get, and we can't do anything without the help of everybody else who is kind of tuning in at the moment. So thank you for joining me. Things are a little bit different going forward in the way that I do these streams. So just so you know, if you have a comment that you want to leave, if you hear something with your spirit box, or if you running a spirit box, or you have a question or something, there is a good possibility that your comment is going to appear on the screen, like so, because this is kind of a fun new way for me to do stuff, and I want to certainly make use of the technology a little bit. So if you have something you don't want to be seen on the bigger screen, even though the fact is you are being on Facebook, we're going to see it anyway. But this is a way so everyone can kind of see, and this is what we're focusing on, trying to do these spirit box sessions. So I hope that's okay. What I'm hoping to do tonight, first of all, I can already feel something very furry walking through my legs. That's my cat. I say so because you might hear some disembodied licking of plastic, because that seems to be his new favorite thing. And if you hear that, just know that that is not spirit related. That's just an annoying cat who, every time I speak, and I've been doing a lot of meetings lately through my computer because I'm working from home, and every single time he is licking plastic and whatnot. It's actually very bizarre. If you are watching this through my profile page, could you let me know? Because I just want to make sure that I'm seeing all the comments that are coming through. I've had some issues with some of that before. I think that it's all taken care of, but you never know. There's also like a 10 to 15 second delay between what I'm saying and when you hear me say it. So just keep that in mind too when it comes time to having like a communication with each other, okay? So tonight, what I thought would be nice is that we have like a, I don't know, like a topic, like a subject, like a theme that we kind of start things off with, because, you know, every week, if we just come on and we just try to speak with spirits, that's fine. But I also want to try to do something where I can kind of focus on what we want to do. So tonight I thought, since it's Easter, what would happen if we had an attempt to speak with angels and spirit guides? It's Easter, by the way, happy Easter to everybody. What would happen if we could do that? If we could find a way to hear an angel, and I know a lot of you out there are gonna be like, well, I talk to them all the time. I talk to my spirit guides all the time. And I totally get that. I totally understand that, but I want to hear them through the spirit box. I want to see if they'll interact with the equipment also, because that is what's going to be really interesting to see. And hopefully that they do. Hopefully there is a way that we can do so. And this is why we do this with everybody, because I want to make sure that as a group effort, as we set our intention, that we can have these meaningful discussions that everybody is able and be able to talk. So yes, I'm hoping that there is a way that we can do that tonight. And I'm just kind of going through the comments and stuff, and I'm just really happy that folks are joining in. I hope you find something interesting. And like I keep saying, this is not just for me. I do have a couple pieces of housekeeping that I like to do before we kind of get going here. First of all, I do a radio show every Wednesday night on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. This week, I am going to be talking with Pamela Pierce Barcelo. She is the daughter of Charles B. Pierce, who was the writer and director of The Legend of Boggy Creek. And what's interesting about that is that it just got a restoration done. It's just been released on Blu-ray. It's for a lot of people who are into Bigfoot, Sasquatch, all that stuff. This film was huge for them. So what we're going to do is have a conversation with her about the restoration process, as well as what it is that made this film so special, and maybe get some insight about what her father had done. So, you know, that's going to be something that I'm really looking forward to. That's this Wednesday, and that is between 8 and 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please check it out. You can do so at kcorradio.com. They're fun shows. I hope that you check it out. Also, on Mondays, we have psychic medium tarot card reader Anne. She does one-question readings on Monday nights where time permits for her. And basically, for those who don't know what that is, it is basically you go to her page, her Facebook page, which is facebook.com/tarot by Anne. And what she's going to do, you send her a question, a non-political question, through her chat, and ask her a question such as, I'm doing this. Did I make the right decision? Do you think? What's my job perspective looking like? You know, all these questions that she will then answer, one question per person. And from there, what happens is that you're going to get this wonderful reading, and you're going to find that she was right. She always seems to be right. And I'm not just trying to boost her up. It's just that in my experience, that more people come back to me and say that she was absolutely right. And if you liked what you got from her, I would really recommend, since she gives these out free every single week, that maybe you do a little bit of pay it forward and go to her site, onae.org, and schedule a reading with her. There would be a full 30 or 60-minute reading, and you get the full picture, not just a quick sort of look at everything. And I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. You're going to find something very useful from it. So I just really like it. And David, thank you very much. You know, David is also a host of KCOR radio show that actually plays Sundays. So it's already played. Ghostly Hour had played. this week already, but he also has his shows on KCOR radio, and it's a fantastic program. So definitely check that out. And thank you, David, for saying that. I really do appreciate it. So tonight, just looking at my my notes here real fast. As we always say for the ground rules, first of all, I'm going to back up a little bit further. You might say, well, you're kind of dark today. You know, the lighting is kind of weird. And that's because when we do this, when I start up the spirit box, we are going to go dark tonight. We are not going to be lit up at all. And the reason why is that because I'm going to focus tonight on the equipment. And the equipment is set up just about 2 feet away from me. And I want to be able to focus on that because every week I'm telling you, oh, the Ovilus is saying something, or oh, look, the K2 is going off, but you can't see it. And I think that that's not right. So I want to make sure that you can see it. So if we get any new words from the Ovilus, that they show up. And I'm going to quickly go through what it is that we are looking at here as far as the equipment is concerned. To your left, you see a flashlight. We've gone through this before. The hope is that Spirit will talk to us through the flashlight, like will light up for us. Right next to that is the Ovilus. It's the Ovilus 5, and what that is that there's a bank of words in it, and the belief is that Spirit pulls words from this and will show us what it's talking about and tell it. So far we've had 3 words before we started the broadcast: evening, sent, and had. Okay. Now the hope is that we're going to get more words showing up here over the course of the evening. I'm going to introduce the equipment to the spirits in a couple minutes. And last time we did this, which was 2 weeks ago, the name Robert kept coming through the spirit box. For those who are here, you may remember that. And from there, it was Robert, Rob were names coming through, and then the name appeared on the Ovilus. Robert appeared on the Ovilus, which I think is very, very, very cool. So that's hopefully we'll get something tonight. Right behind it is what we call REM pod. It will light up. It will, if spirits are around. And right next to that is the K2 meter. Both are in the belief that if energy comes around it, they will light up and let us know. So obviously that is the hope, that all of these might come up once we start to do a spirit box session, that all the energy is, slowly, kind of creating itself. And, that's the hope at least. And thank you, Don. Yes, I always do get Robert. It seems like at least once a session we get Robert. And that started for me way back at the Morris Jamel Mansion in New York when I had my friend Robert with me. And the message was "Go home, Robert." And that was a very powerful piece of evidence that we got from the Morris Jamel Mansion. And the thing about that was that Robert was really affected at the Morris Jamel Mansion. So there's a lot of interesting play. And that's the thing about spirit communication. There's a lot of parity, not parody as in like making fun, but parity, P-A-R-I-T-Y, meaning that everything is connected. That, what may not make sense at the beginning, eventually there's something that you might go, oh gosh, that makes sense now. I get it. I didn't understand it at the time, but I certainly understand it now. And that is something that I find probably very, very exciting about spirit communication. It's like you never know what you're going to get. So before we start the session, there's a couple things I always go over. First of all, there are no guarantee of responses, right? We always say this. For those of you who are expecting that as soon as I turn it on, we're getting meaningful conversation, this is a slow burn, is what they call it. It doesn't necessarily start off that way. Once in a while, we might start off with something like, holy cow, this is amazing. But what ends up happening more often than not is takes about 20 minutes or so before we start getting really meaningful conversation or words that mean something to people. It takes some time for the spirits, in my opinion, it's my theory, it takes time for them to come in and really start to feel comfortable enough to talk with us. That's my take on it, at least. We'll see how soon it happens. It does happen. I mean, every week we get something that is very interesting and hopefully meaningful to those of you who are taking part in the conversation with me. So please know, if you're coming in here, because I'm always have my eyes on the numbers of people who are here, and I see after a while people drift away and stuff, and that's fair. But the thing is, it's very much like it doesn't happen overnight. And hi, Anne. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And everyone else who came in and said hi. Hi to all of you. I just kind of been putting up your comments, but hello, thank you so much, because I'm hoping that we all get something out of tonight. The next thing is, as I always say, we do this at our own risk, right? There should be nothing that should be nasty that happens to us after doing this, but we are bringing in energy that we are hoping is good. That is what our intention is. And that is why we always need to protect ourselves, so that we are going to be able to have a positive experience with spirits that only are of love and light. We're not here to talk with any spirits that are negative or nasty or horrible. We're not trying to get in touch with any, past world dictators or anything like that. We just want to have a good conversation. That's why tonight we're going to talk to angels, because it is a really good, positive, beautiful conversation is the way I hope to see it. And absolutely, David, let's hope everyone is doing well, and that you're in the state of mind. Before we get started, we'll do a cleanse. I will say, when I was putting stuff together, I was upstairs in my office, because I'm right now in my kitchen area. This is the easiest place for me to do this stuff and set up. But when I was upstairs, I kept seeing a reflection on my monitor. And I kept looking, it just, when you see something and you recognize it, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, I get it. But when it's something that is not familiar, it immediately kind of gets you going. And so, Lucy, it's very good to see you tonight. Hoping you're having a great Easter. So that happened about twice tonight when I'm putting all this stuff together, and it was alien. And I don't mean alien like UFOs. I mean alien like it's out of the ordinary. So, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe nothing, maybe a lot, but that's what, we obviously hope for. So we went through the equipment, apart from the fact that I have my spirit box, and I'm using the SB7. At some point, once I get this new setup kind of figured out, I figured that we can also use like a couple different ones that are bigger and bulkier, but are more customizable, and that we maybe can see what kind of responses that we can get. Angie, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for joining all of us. What we're going to do tonight, when I'm speaking with spirits and whatnot, what people tend to do is they're going to tell us all what they think they're hearing. If they hear a name or something, and there's going to be a point that you're going to maybe want to talk with somebody, and you might say, hey, can we see if grandma comes through? Can we see if so-and-so comes through? Or if you're intuitive, you might be like, I feel like my grandma's here with me right now. Can you see if she will answer? There's a whole bunch of different things that we can do, and see what happens with that. Okay. If that makes sense. Hopefully that's helpful. Janelle, thank you so much for joining me. Heidi, thank you. It's good to see you here tonight. I hope that you find this very much interesting. Hope that you like it. And of course, Champagne, thank you very much for joining in. Really appreciate it tonight. I hope that you all like it and find it of use. So why don't we do this? Let's try and think the order we want to do things. Why don't we first, for those of you who want to do this, you don't have to do this, but this is something that I firmly believe in if you're doing spirit communication of any kind, is that you need to protect yourself. What we always call bubbling up, right? So let's do this together, okay? And it starts from your heart, and it starts with your intention. Your intention is going to be that you want, I mean, intention could be whatever you want it to be, but I look at my intention for tonight is I want to only speak with spirits of love and light, what we call love and above. And that it just imagine a white, beautiful, strong light that starts at your heart. And then it slowly comes out of your heart. And it just starts to envelop your entire body, right? So that it becomes this protective case, this wonderful, basically chainmail. You know, it's just a protective suit that you're wearing, because only spirit that's going to talk to us is going to be spirit of the light, and spirits that maybe want our help, maybe want our love, but they certainly are not negative energy. We do not want negative energy. So hopefully everyone has a chance to do that. And hopefully you all feel good, because once you do that, you should be feeling pretty good. You should feel pretty calm. That's the way I feel when I do it. I feel very calm. I feel really good about things. So, and become ready for it, okay? And Angie says, I'm very intuitive and spiritual. So yes, that makes sense. I find this very interesting. Thank you. I hope that you do find this interesting, and hope that we bring some value. What I've been doing also prior to the Spirit Box sessions and prior to when we went live is I take my pendulum, which has become something of a favorite for me, and I ask it very kindly, if you can first of all show me yes, please. Right? Now it's moving back and forth, to and fro towards the camera. So that's yes, and it's picking up. Can you show me no, please? Do you see how it changed? Thank you. Why I'm doing this right now is I'm asking, particularly tonight, if there are any angels or spirit guides of those who are joining in with me tonight from around the country, around the world. If you could consider talking to me and talking to them about just anything, even just to say hello, even to just show us that you're here. I know that normally the way that angels and spirit guides work is through the heart, but I'm asking if you would try to do so through the equipment tonight, please, because we would love to hear it. We'd love to hear your voice. I'm curious to know what angels sound like. So please consider doing that for us tonight. Thank you very much. As always, for those of you who do not know, when you're talking with spirit, always your please and thank yous, right? As polite as pie, because they don't have to talk to us. And when they do, it's a beautiful message. It's beautiful that they do so. For those of you who were with me 2 weeks ago, do you remember that we crossed over spirits? That was pretty incredible. Maybe we might do that tonight if there's anyone who needs our help. Anyone who does need our help tonight, please reach out to us. We'll do our very best to help you. We'll do our very best to communicate with you as clear as possible. Also, for any of our relatives who are here, we are more than happy to hear you. We love you. We miss you. Even if I've never met you, that movement was mine. Even if I've never met you, for speaking for my own family members, and I'm sure everyone else would agree, if, you know, we'd love to hear from you. Okay? Thank you. All right. We got that said and done. What we're going to do now is we're going to move over to the equipment. I'm going to walk over to the equipment, so I'm going to talk a little bit louder. We'll go from there and see what we can do. Once I turn off the lights, I'm going to be moving back over here, but we're going to keep the camera on the equipment, okay? Because I'm not going to be lit at all. So we're going to start over here. And now, please note that the Ovilus has not had any new words. It has not had any new words since we've started this, probably about, we started this 25 minutes ago. I've been babbling for that long, but I've had this on for probably about 45 minutes, and we've not had anything more since it first started. So I should consider that to be very encouraging, because if it's speaking a lot, then I feel like it's maybe a little unbalanced. So we're going to see, hello there, and we're going to see what happens tonight. And I am a great honest gut. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably one of the most honest guts you're ever gonna see. That's fantastic. Thank you for that. My gut's a lot smaller now, just to be honest. Okay, what I'm going to do, hopefully you can still hear me. Just going to ask spirits, please consider talking to us through the spirit box, the device I'm holding up in my hand right now. For those who want to see, it's right here. Please consider talking to us through this device. There's other devices that you could talk to us for. If you can, if you just touch that flashlight, it will go off, and that's a way to communicate with us. You can go up here, and it will ring, and that's a way that we will hear you. Also, if you go near here, these will light up if you go near it, and that will be a way to communicate with us too. In fact, if you wanted to be just around this area, you could have this go off and this go off at the same time, which would be pretty cool. And also you can manipulate this to allow names to come up or words to come up, and that's a way for us to talk with you too. Please consider doing so, okay? We're going lights out here, which will be interesting because I have a lot of crap in my house and I'll probably knock it all over. And let's see what happens here. Champagne asks, I have a quick question. Do the spirits come through, most of them earthbound? That's the debate. That's the question. I like to look at the spirit box as something that can be used by anything. And we've had it, and we'll maybe try it again at some point to see if we can get aliens even. I mean, they're radio frequencies. Why can't they talk to us through so many other devices, right? So, let's see what happens. And just so you can see, not that I think anyone really cares, but I am back over at my table. And so you can't see me, but you can see my recorder. I'm just a hand at the moment. I'm completely in the dark. And this is actually how I like to do my investigations. There's people who say that you don't need it to be completely dark to get responses. I agree with it, but I like it. And I also like the fact that, look, night vision. So I'm going to be honest there. I kind of like this. Going through, Todd, it is very nice to see you. Hopefully everything is well. Todd, we've had experiences together, haven't we, through the spirit box? So very much so. Stuff that I've never actually published yet, apart from the first time that I was with your wife. So we did that spirit box session. So otherwise, all the stuff that we've done otherwise hasn't been released yet. And there's some amazing stuff there. And then there we go. So should we do this? Finally, tagging my audio. This is Sunday night, Easter Sunday Spirit Box session, April 12th, 2020, Facebook Live. I'm going to start up the Spirit Box. It's going to be loud. Let's see what we can do. And Todd, at some point, I'm going to have to share with some folks some of that stuff. Some of that stuff, though, might be private to you, and we'll see what you think. Because I know that we reached out to your brother when we were able to do that. It's going to be loud. Let me know if it's piercing. We'll do a backwards sweep on it. First thing I heard sounded like something about your sister. And I'm going to be honest, a couple phrases that came through right away actually sounded like Mexican descent. Turning it down just a little bit. Don, are you saying you heard my sister, like in terms of like someone saying my sister, or is it your sister? But it sounded, that's what it sounded like to me, to be very honest. My sister. Thank you for that. Thank you very much, Todd. Some outstanding, probably some of my best paranormal experiences were in your house. Over in Strawberry Point. Hello. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think you had a sister. Speaking to spirits, happy Easter. Almost sounded like someone said Easter back to me there for a second. Now, it sounded like a male just said, love ya. Do you have a family member listening tonight? Don't forget, you can turn on the flashlights. You can make some of the other equipment go off. Please use the equipment's energy to do so. I heard another love you. Now, I just turned down the spirit box. Hopefully you all can still hear it. It just was too loud for me. If it's hard to hear, let me know and I'll turn it back up, okay? Turn it back up just a smidge. All right. Now, I've never asked for this before. Is it possible for an angel to say hello to us? I I'm really heightened in here at the moment. Oh, every time my phone goes off, it makes my Bluetooth speaker go. I've told you all before how every time that was happening, I thought it was spirit. I was horribly wrong. Please know for any angels that are that are able to talk with us. I swear that was my last name. Any angels that want to say hi, please, we just want to hear you. It's not a matter of trying to coerce anyone to try to talk to us. We just want to hear your voice. That's all I want to do. I want to know what you sound like. Okay? I just want to hear you. I want to experience. That was a hello. Hello. Can you tell me who you are, please? I think there's someone trying to come through. I really do. And I'm feeling closed in over here a little bit. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just feeling heard it again. Hello? Could you please? Okay, I just talked over that. Remind me to tell you all this story because it's pretty crazy, actually, that Todd has up here right now. Yes, Todd, Mackenzie did say hello on your behalf. So on you and your wife's behalf. It's crazy. Wow. You know, I feel like we're getting a lot of people coming in. Can you share your names with us, please, so we know who we're talking to? I'm having people asking if there's a Mary here. I'm also being asked if there is an Olga here. I think that's interesting, Ryan. You thought you heard a Michael. You know, one of the things I was hoping to hear was from our Archangel Michael. Oh, wow. There was a sentence that was just said. Maybe, David, this is someone trying to talk to you. Do you know David Cook? If you do, could you make one of the other devices go off, please? I heard a yeah. Whoa, whoa. I thought I heard my name. And it didn't sound like it came from the spirit box, so I know it did. Hi, Shannon. Thanks for joining in. It has been a long time, hasn't it? I hope you are well. Eric could very well be. Thank you, Laura. You too. I feel like there's something underlying beyond the spirit box. Incidentally, here's a live picture of me. Hello. I am completely in the dark, as I am with most of my life. We have heard Michael. Whoa. So got something there. Underneath that, people are trying to talk to us. Underneath that, I'm hearing other comments, like under the white noise. Can I ask if we are graced with Archangel Michael here, by chance? And forgive me if it's poor form to ask for you through such means. Yes, I can hear you. Spirits, please consider using the energy from any of the devices here so that you could talk to us clearer. You are coming through, but not super clear. That's interesting. Once again, while we're doing this, Todd, I gotta address this, Todd, when we're done doing this, because there's some amazing stories that happened that night to you and I, Nicole and Shannon, at your house. Stuff that has stayed with me personally ever since, and I never shake. And just so you people know, from the Ovilus, it's spelled bacon and nickel. It was for my last name, Bakken, and nickel was Nicole, and that was my father reaching out to me. But we'll talk more about that in a second, or after this session. Thank you, Todd. Yes. sometimes it's just interesting just listening and not talking. It must have been while I was talking. I didn't hear it, and I was blabbing away. Michael, Karen got the message. Does that mean anything to you? You know, we also wanted to talk to spirit guides. Do we have any spirit guides in here? First of all, my name again. Welcome back. I think this could be very interesting. First of all, for spirit guides, I'm asking if you could communicate. First of all, can I just say thank you to all of you on behalf of everybody who is listening and taking part in tonight's conversation. You guide us. We don't always listen, but you guide us, and you're there for us. Welcome, Jerry. Thank you for joining us. I'd say hi, but this is what I look like at the moment. Hi. Could be. When we keep hearing Greg, is it for me or is it for Janelle's brother? Anybody listening is having a birthday today? And that means Spirit also. Spirit, is it your birthday today? Any spirits who has their birthdays today? And you want to let us know it's your birthday? Oh, it did sound like happy birthday. You know, go over to this equipment over here. Make it light up. Party. Okay, someone just said, that's nice. And then someone else just said something like, don't you speak, or something speak. I think there's a lot being said here, and a lot that's being said here that we're not picking up, and I'm going to pick it up in the recording. And what I can do now with how I have this set up, I can take some of the best responses and I can play them back in another session, so you can hear what I'm hearing. Of course, Todd, it's always a possibility. Once we're allowed to leave our houses, it definitely is a possibility. Even though, dare I say, Todd, your house might be one of the best places I've ever investigated. Your nickname's Spooky? All right. That almost sounded like my full name. Greg Bakken. And I hate it when people do that, when they keep saying they hear their names. It's just like, oh, come on, get over yourself. I keep hearing it, though. My nickname's Greg. Nothing too terribly interesting. Could I get a number of how many spirits are here, please? 10? I thought I heard 10 twice. I swear I keep seeing things move in my peripheral, which is awesome when you're by yourself in a dark room. Have I shared with you how dark it is in here? Anyway. Hello. That's scary in its own. 21. I did not hear 21 myself, but if that's what you're all hearing. Are there 21 spirits here? Some interesting incidents. Oh my God. And don't forget that Bible that goes back to the 1400s that you own. Oh my God. Are there any spirits here for Angie Marie? Anyone who from her family or friends who have passed who would like to say hello to her? And if you're here for Angie, could you either say her name, which I actually thought I just heard, could you either say her name or what your name is? Todd, is that in what you guys call the crooked room, if I remember correctly? Parts of your house are macabre. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, possibly, Karen. That's an interesting theory. That's a very interesting theory. I actually own probably 7 or 8 used SB7s. And the reason why I do so, because they make them now, so they're not, in my opinion, not as good as what they used to be. The algorithm of the white noise is different. I did too, to be honest, Janelle. I didn't hear it myself. I'm not saying it didn't happen. And that's why it's great to have everybody here, because you will hear stuff that I will not hear, or that I'm talking over. I tend to do that quite a bit. Before I move on, anybody here related to Angie Marie? Or anybody who knows her that'd like to say hello? All right, if you do want to talk, just say your name or say Angie's name as clear as possible, so we know that you are trying to talk to her. Okay? But Laura wants to know if Manny is out there. Manny, are you around? Laura, just got to set the intention that you really want Manny to come through. Okay? Mandy, could you say Laura's name, please? Whoa. That kind of sounded like it to me. Something people? Well, even when I'm not using the software, Karen, we're about 10 to 15 seconds delay from each other. Nice. This is what I love right here. Two people independently hearing the same thing. Nice job, you two. Angie, does this have any resonance to you? Ooh, just talked over something. Sorry. Hey, Lisa, I hope you're having a good night. Hope you're having a good Easter. It's been forever since I've talked with you, since we're not allowed in our building anymore. Spirits, please remember that I have some equipment over here that you could use to communicate with us. If you don't want to do so, that's like sound like either from the Met or from the neck. If you don't want to talk to us through the spirit box, you can have some of the equipment go off. Ooh. Went by Karen, not spooky this time. If you know Karen, can you make one of the lights go off for me, please? It's easy enough. Yes, it's easy enough to do. Whoa. It feels like when I change my tone of voice, it changes the fierceness of the responses. Oh boy. Now we're in trouble. Hi, Denise. Hope you're having a great Easter. I swear someone just said Linus, my cat. Is that directed towards me, Karen? Do we have any family members? Yeah, Mickey, I thought I heard that too. Something along those lines, at least. I often think my cat is being haunted, and I actually mean that because that dude, he starts meowing at nothing all the time. And I know he's a bit interesting, he's a bit unique, but there's something about like, does someone keep does somebody keep annoying my cat? And maybe leave Linus alone because I'm the one that have to deal with it afterwards. I want to hear Spooky come through the spirit box again. Or better yet, I want to see it on the obelisk. I believe it. And I am convinced, to be very honest, that whoever is playing with my cat is actually one of my other cats who have passed. Probably AJ. Speaking of which, AJ, are you here? Just so y'all know, I'm still here in the dark. Hello. Spirits, can you say Spooky again? It's Karen's nickname? Oh. I just want to say, first of all, Don mentioned this, which I am. I don't know if I heard that, but I'm going to listen back, obviously, and hear. Angie, I find it interesting. Somewhere I have a picture of AJ following something on the wall or up in the air, and she has a look like if a cat could smile. She has that look. She was very peaceful. It was almost angelic looking. I had a picture of her. It was actually very beautiful. I've never seen her look so peaceful, to be honest. Just amazing. That was probably about 7 years ago or something like that. It was after my other cat, Dave, passed away. Do I have any spirit guides here that would just like to say hello? Okay, did you hear that? What's your name? My name is Greg, and I didn't introduce myself. And we have a lot of people listening around the world. And that's why we want to talk with you. Absolutely, no doubt. Hey now. Once again, thank you two very much for your corroborating what each other's hearing. That's super important. I did it. I heard I did it, and then Mandy heard, do you know? We do not know. Tell us, please. We have Mandy that heard that, and then we had Karen that heard that too. Nice job, you two. Thank you. As Laura would say, thank you. That is someone using my phone, sending me a message. Talk about buzzkill. We'll see. Amber and Karen hearing the same things. That's fantastic. So a question to spirits who are listening, and thank you for being a part of our conversation. We want to make sure that you know how important you are to us. Oh, I thought I saw a light anomaly to my left. And it's so dark in here, there's no reason why it should be anything other than what I thought it was. There's somebody here trying to get my attention. Well, Laura, let's ask the question. We've asked this before, but there's probably more in here now. How many spirits are with us? Can we get a number, please? 2? I think there's more than 2, if I heard that correctly. Yep, that's what I heard too. Yep. So we all heard the same thing. That's good. Now, of course, Don and Angie thought they heard 6. And so did Janelle. You heard wrong? Is that what maybe they said? See, I would agree with that, 100%. You know what I heard too? I said I think there's more than 2 in here. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, about spirits and how many they can see of themselves. Doesn't mean that everyone can see each other, right? Spirits, can you see each other or can you hide from each other? I mean, some of you that are with us right now, are you making yourself invisible to other spirits? Just a woman said, "Oh yeah." I don't know what you're talking about. Are there any spirits here that need our help? If you need our help, can you say help, please? Or have the word come up on that screen that I'm pointing over to right now that has words on it already. Say help. All right, audience, what are you hearing? What are you hearing, folks? Now, Mandy, did you hear your name? I thought I just heard your name. So, Laura, this is why I asked what you all are thinking out there, because I felt like I heard help a couple times, but I also felt like I heard a woman say, "Help me, please," very quickly. Now, getting back to hearing Mandy's name, Mickey heard Mandy. Mandy, out of modesty, wasn't sure if she heard her name. Amber heard Mandy. Good. I'm not going insane over here. All right. Why don't we do this as our final thing tonight? Okay. Why don't we see if we can cross over any spirits that need our help? Okay. Are you all in for this? Any spirits need to be crossed over. We want to help you. We want to help you see the light so that you can go home, okay? As my mom was saying when she was dying, she just wanted to go home. She wanted to go to the green grass of home. It's literally what she would say. So everybody who is taking part in this tonight, I ask that you consider helping us with this crossover. What you do is that you set your intention to help any spirits that are in our circle right now. We are in a circle. We might be in different parts of the planet, but we are a circle. We are unified. We are one. Okay? Now, spirits that need help. I need you to focus on something that's been there the entire time for you, and all you had to do is see it. Okay? And that is a light. It's always been there. You just didn't want to see it, and now it's there for you. Now it's time to go home. Hear that? You need to go towards that light, okay? Yeah. You go towards it, and you can go. You can cross over. Take our help on this side, and take your loved one's help on the other side. Okay? Do you see the light? Walk towards it. Walk towards it. And keep walking until you're through it, okay? You have every right for happiness. You have every right to go there. Do not think you don't. Hold on. And we feel good. Did you cross? because it feels lighter over here. Are you safe? We love you, and we only want your safety. We want you to be free. Facebook friends, how do you feel? Do you feel it? Do you feel the weight lifted? I feel remarkably relaxed at the moment. I really feel pretty relaxed. You're there, right? You're all there. You've all crossed. Is there anybody else that needs help? All right. This is what I'm going to do. Thank you. Okay. If you don't need anything else from us, I'm going to call this a session, okay? All right. We're going to shut down. Thank you to all spirits who communicated with us tonight. We're shutting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. All right. That was pretty cool. Thank you all very much for helping with that. I don't think I said good. I will take a listen because I went to go turn on the light, and so I wasn't completely paying attention to what I was saying. But that would be something very interesting if that were the case. I think the common belief is, Karen, and I say it that way because we just don't know, right? I mean, that's just, this is what I've always heard. This is what I believe, that once they cross over, they can come back. They can hear us. I mean, it's just like if you get in touch with your parents. I don't know if your parents have passed, but like say if I get in touch with my parents, right? I know that they've crossed over. I mean, they've confirmed it to myself. They confirmed it to people who are able to speak with them energetically. And, you know, crossing over doesn't mean that they're away from us, that they are able to go back and forth and really take part in what if they want to, but crossing over is now going to a different realm. They've left the here and now of kind of, I think of it as connected to Earth. And now they're you know, they're astral. They're on a different plane altogether. other people, I'd love to hear your thoughts if you agree with that or not. That's my take on it, at least. And then as far as good goes, Amber heard it also. You're welcome. It was pretty good, wasn't it? And you know what I find very interesting, though, is nothing went off tonight at all. And normally we get like a word coming through the ovilus, and we're not even getting that, which is a shame because I can read them very easily. So that would be nice if we could read them. But you know, it's very interesting. Like I said, Karen, that's just my take on it. Who knows, right? And that's the thing about what we do, right? Is that this is all about we're learning together, and like I always get on my soapbox about, if you run into people who say that if you run into people who say that they're experts in something to do with the paranormal, run from them, because there should be no experts in any of this stuff. I do call myself a seasoned investigator, which does not mean expert. It means that it is that these are, I've done it enough to be able to know what to do in certain situations. So I'm not a novice and I'm not an expert, but I'm seasoned. I've been around enough. I've run into people who have taken, they don't like that terminology, but that's too bad. Thank you, Laura. It is unique. It's a really cool thing, and I hope that that you come away with something. My hope is the more and more that we all do this together, the better the responses are. I always look at spirit box communication the same as like doing walks every day or doing runs every day. You're exercising. You're exercising that compatibility and that relationship. So I'm hoping that that we just keep getting better responses. So just kind of, we're all just talking about what happens when we cross over. Yeah, I know, right? We see nothing is happening at all, which is a real bummer. I have been having some problems getting the flashlight to do anything recently. But I mean, just even like the ovilus, I mean, there is absolutely nothing coming through any of this at all, which is a bummer, because that's fun to see. And, hopefully maybe next time or something will happen. But yeah, so let's see, what else do we got here? And I couldn't agree more. We're all learning all the time. We love what we're doing, and we keep hearing new things. And I think this is what I like about this, is that we're learning together, because this isn't me doing it, it's us doing it. And as I say at the beginning, this isn't my story. This isn't your story. This is our story. So I hope that you find that of interest. Once again, though, I just want to say, before we do anything else, for those of you who have not done this with me before, we're done with the session. And what we do need to say to spirits is, we're done with the session. Please do not follow us. Do not continue communication. Unless you're a loved one and you have your own relationship with your loved ones in terms of spirit communication and whatnot. But if you're a spirit that just came in, wanted to say hi to us, and I know there's a lot of them, we're done with our communication. We've cut that off. You are not allowed to follow us. You're not allowed to communicate with us anymore. We are done with our session, and thank you for talking with us. We'll be opening up again in a while, and we can continue our conversation, but you're not allowed to take energy from any of us. And this is important to always say, because we just want to make sure everyone is safe. And if you are not safe, you feel like that you've been having bad dreams from this or something, or you don't feel right after we've done this, reach out to me and we can figure out what's going on, because that shouldn't be the case. We should all be feeling really good about everything. I also do want to just point out, too, that once again, I do run a paranormal group. If you need help, I do paranormal investigations. I do paranormal consultations. So if you need me for anything, you can reach out to me through Facebook or my email address, greg@mn-ghostbox.org, and let me know what you need. Also, I have a lot of my Spirit Box evidence. Well, at least I haven't updated in a while, but I have some really good stuff up there. If you want to check it out, www.mn-ghostbox.org under evidence is Spirit Box evidence, and check it out. And there's some really interesting things there. And also, it needs to be pointed out too that we had we've had. For example, we talked to Todd tonight, where I investigated his and Shannon's house, and some of that stuff from the first time I've been there is there, which is outstanding evidence. And maybe we'll play it sometimes, and we'll see what happens. And I'm glad you all will do that and come back, and we'll keep talking. Once again, just want to quickly say. This Wednesday in my radio show, we'll be talking with Pamela Pierce Barcelo, who father directed and wrote The Legend of Boggy Creek. We're going to talk about that. And then I don't know if she'll do it this week. She does it whenever she can. Anne doing her Facebook Live one question readings. She normally does them Monday nights. So if she is going to do it Monday night, like her page, facebook.com/tarot by Anne. And once you do so, you'll know if she's doing a live feed or anything. So I really appreciate it. Just want to thank everyone for joining in tonight. Thank you so much. Why don't we do this in a couple, not next Sunday, but the Sunday follow. I just don't want to do it every week because I don't want to be a drain on anyone's resource. But thank you so much for taking part. Let me know if you have any questions. But we will talk soon, and really hope to hear from everyone very soon. Take care, everyone, and have a happy Easter for what's left of it. Take care, everyone. Good night.